Let's get straight to the point. Number 8. The stop funding your own misery budget. Look, I get it. You had a bad day, your boss acts like a shaved gorilla in a cheap suit, so you bought a $200 customized waffle maker just to feel something other than existential dread. That rush you felt blinking at the checkout counter? That's dopamine, baby. It's the brain's primary reward neurotransmitter, the biochemical do-it-again button. The problem is, evolution designed that chemical hit to wear off faster than a cheap spray tan in a rainstorm, so you'd get off your butt and go hunt another mammoth. Scientists call this hedonistic adaptation. You buy the shiny thing, the buzz fades almost instantly, and you're immediately back to baseline sad sack status, already scrolling for the next fix. The coolest dudes among us don't just budget their cash, they budget their satisfaction. They actually track previous purchases to see which ones yielded lasting serotonin-fueled joy versus fleeting dopamine amusement. If that daily $12 artisanal avocado toast gives you 15 minutes of mild pleasure but prevents you from affording the yearly ski trip that provides lifetime memories, you cut the toast. It's not about deprivation, it's about strategic resource allocation towards actual fulfillment. Stop setting your wallet on fire just to feel warm for 30 seconds.
Number 7. The "I'm too rich to scrub my own toilet" rule. Stop acting like your time is worth $0 just because you aren't at your desk pretending to work. We've all been there, spending 4 hours trying to fix a leaky sink with a YouTube tutorial and a butter knife, only to end up flooding the kitchen and crying. Congratulations, you saved $80 but lost half a Saturday and your sanity. The buying time habit is the ultimate wealth hack. It's based on the principle of resource substitution, using a renewable resource, cash, to preserve a non-renewable one, your life. Studies in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences show that people who spend money on time-saving services are significantly happier than those who buy material goods. You're literally reducing time famine, that suffocating feeling that there aren't enough hours in the day. Paying for grocery delivery isn't being lazy, it's a high ROI investment. It frees up your cognitive load, allowing your brain to focus on higher-level stuff, like building a business or figuring out why your cat stares at nothing. If you can earn more per hour than the service costs, you're losing money by doing it yourself. Just buy your life back.
Number 6. The "I own the company, you just buy the shoes" flex. Most people treat their favorite brands like a toxic ex. They keep giving them money and getting absolutely nothing back but a temporary ego boost and a cardboard box. You're out here waiting in line for 3 hours to drop half a paycheck on a phone that will be obsolete by next Tuesday. That is the consumer trap, a psychological loop where your identity is tied to the logos you wear rather than the assets you own. Wealthy people have a producer orientation. When they see everyone obsessing over a new product, they don't think, "I need that." They think, "I need to own the company that makes that." It's the difference between being the fuel and being the engine. There is a neurological concept called endowment effect, where we overvalue things just because we own them. But instead of overvaluing a pair of sneakers that lose 40% of their value the moment your sweaty foot touches the sole, try overvaluing a share of the company's stock. By shifting from a buyer to an owner, you turn your consumption habit into a capital accumulation strategy. While everyone else is paying for the CEO's 4th yacht, you're collecting dividends and watching your net worth climb while you sleep. Stop being the guy who buys the shiny toys and start being the guy who profits from the people buying the shiny toys. It's much cooler.
Number 5. The "no" is a complete sentence vocabulary hack. Most people walk around saying, "I can't afford that," like they're Victorian orphans begging for more gruel. This language triggers a scarcity mindset, a psychological state where your brain literally functions at a lower IQ because it's hyper-focused on what's missing. It creates stress, narrows your focus, and makes you feel like a victim of your own bank account. But the truly wealthy, they don't say, "I can't." They say, "I choose not to." It sounds like a small semantic tweak, but it's actually a massive power move for your prefrontal cortex. It moves you from a state of deprivation to a state of agency and executive control. When you say, "I can't afford it," you're telling your brain you're a loser who has failed at capitalism. When you say, "I'm choosing to allocate my resources elsewhere," you're the CEO of your own life. This is called cognitive reframing, and it's a scientifically proven way to reduce cortisol levels and keep your decision-making sharp. It turns a moment of weakness into a moment of discipline. You aren't missing out on a $15 cocktail, you're prioritizing your future beach house. Being the guy who says no because he has a bigger plan is infinitely cooler than being the guy who says yes just because he's afraid of looking broke. Control the narrative, control the cash.
Number 4. The Predator Fund, for when the world goes on sale. Most people have an emergency fund, which is basically just a sad pile of cash sitting in a savings account waiting for the car to explode or the roof to leak. It's defensive, it's boring, and it smells like fear. But the financial elite, they keep an opportunity fund. This isn't money for when things go wrong, it's money for when things go right for everyone else, but wrong for the market. It's about optionality, a concept popularized by Nassim Taleb. Optionality is the property of asymmetrical payoffs, where you have a small, known downside, holding cash, but a massive, uncapped upside, buying a distressed asset during a crash. While everyone else is panic selling their stocks like they're on a sinking ship, you're the guy with the dry powder. Scientifically, this is about liquidity preference. Having liquid cash allows you to capitalize on mean reversion, the tendency of asset prices to return to their long-term average after a massive dip. When the economy has a heart attack, everything goes on a 40% off sale. If you don't have liquid cash, you're just another spectator watching the deal of a lifetime sail by. With an opportunity fund, you aren't just surviving the chaos, you're the predator waiting in the tall grass for the market to trip over its own shoelaces. It's not saving for a rainy day, it's saving for the day it rains gold. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Number 3. The I'm too lazy to be poor automation hack. Stop pretending you have the willpower of a Shaolin monk. You don't. If you have to manually choose to save money every month, you will eventually choose a jet ski or a mountain of tacos instead. This is due to decision fatigue, the scientific fact that your brain's ability to make rational choices decays after a long day of deciding which emails to ignore. The coolest dudes know they are inherently flawed, so they use choice architecture to rig the game. They automate their wealth. The money leaves the paycheck and hits the investment account before their grubby little hands can even touch it. It's called the default effect. Humans are wired to be lazy. We stick with the preset option. By making becoming rich your default setting, you remove the need for discipline. You're essentially tricking your future dumber self into being responsible. When wealth is on autopilot, you aren't saving. You're just living on what's left after your future billionaire self has already taken his cut. If you rely on self-control, you're betting against a casino that never closes. Build a system that makes you rich while you're busy being mediocre. It's more efficient than trying to be a hero. Number 2. The Windfall Restraint, or the anti-lottery mindset. Imagine you're walking down the street and you find a crisp $100 bill. Most people's brains immediately enter party mode. They think this is free money, so it doesn't count, and spend it on a gold-plated fidget spinner or some other useless junk. This is a cognitive bias called mental accounting. We treat money differently depending on where it came from. If you earn it through sweat and tears, you're careful. If it falls from the sky, like a tax refund, a bonus, or a gift from grandma, you treat it like Monopoly money. This is the hallmark of someone who will be working until they're 105. The coolest dudes treat every dollar with the same respect, regardless of its origin. When a windfall hits, they don't look for a way to blow it, they look for a way to plant it. They understand the time value of money. That unexpected $1,000 bonus isn't just $1,000. If you plant it in an index fund with an 8% return, it could be $10,000 in 30 years. By resisting the urge to spend found money, you're essentially exploiting the compounding interest phenomenon, which Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world. Don't be the guy who celebrates a tax refund by giving it right back to the economy. Be the guy who uses it to buy his freedom.
Number 1. The your life is the only currency calculation. You see a new $1,200 smartphone and think, hey, I have $1,200 in my account. I'm basically Batman. No, you're a math-deprived victim of marketing.
The coolest dudes don't look at price tags in dollars, they look at them in heartbeats. This is the life energy calculation. If you make $30 an hour after taxes, that phone doesn't cost $1,200, it costs 40 hours of your finite, rapidly depleting life. That's an entire work week of sitting under fluorescent lights, listening to Dave from accounting talk about his fantasy football team, and pretending to care about synergy. Is that glass rectangle worth 40 hours of your soul? Usually the answer is a hard no. In economics, this is called real wage calculation. It's the ultimate antidote to impulse buying. When you shift from currency to time, the pain of paying, a real neurological phenomenon in the insular cortex, becomes much more intense. Your brain hates losing time more than it hates losing paper. By measuring your spending in life hours, you create a massive psychological barrier against useless consumption. You start realizing that most of the stuff you buy is just a cage built with your own wasted time. If you want to be rich, stop trading your life for things that lose value faster than a used toothbrush. Your time is the only asset you can't earn back. Spend it like you actually like yourself.
If your brain feels slightly less smooth after that, hit the like button and share this with a friend who still thinks a credit card limit is extra income. Subscribe to Coolest Dude Explains for your daily hit of financial logic. We post every single day to keep you from staying broke. Now go do something that makes you money instead of losing it. See you tomorrow.